It's like to speak a little bit about the midwives. So we know that Paro appointed midwives in order to kill the Jewish boys. And he makes it a point of saying, first of all, the midwives that he appoints, if some say it's Shifra and Pua, it says, some people Shifra is Yocheved, they say, is which is Moshe's mother, and Pua is Miriam, which is Moshe's sister. And he goes and he appoints them to be midwives to kill all the boys and to really and it says you should let the girls live. And by letting the girl live, it means that they should once all the boys are gone, they should take the girls into their households, into the Egyptian households, and raise them as Egyptians. You see the shift and Pua don't do it. The midwives don't do it. First of all, just go back a little bit. We should be aware as you see that the king of Egypt was in charge of this. We should always be aware that what the government does, what the rulers do, isn't necessarily is not usually in the best interest of the people. And this is a perfect example. The king of Egypt was trying to kill his own servants, his own slaves, his own everybody, which doesn't make any sense. Why would you want to kill them? Anyway, to go back to the midwives. So the Jewish midwives, they said they didn't kill the children, and they even said Paro asked them why not, and they answered Paro because they're not, they're like chayos, like animals. And we see in the past that Yaakov compared a lot of the shvatim, a lot of the tribes, to a donkey, to a lion, to a snake, to a donkey, to all the different animals. The animals don't necessarily need midwives in order to give birth. And then again, he goes on, and then the midwives continue, and he says that there was a midwives. One of them, that the people ended up being increasingly strong. This is in chapter 1, verse 20 and 21. And then he said, if he had God, he made houses for them. So why are these two benefits that they're getting? So the first one is just like anybody when they do a job, they want to see a success of their job. If their job is to take out a tooth, they want the tooth to be out. They get personal satisfaction as if it's to write an essay when their essay is written, whatever, to set the table when the table is set, whatever the immediate gratification is, that's what they want to get. That's the initial thing that the midwives wanted the children to be alive. And God even made a miracle that not only were the children alive, but even if a baby would have normally should have died at childbirth because the infant wasn't a viable infant, God made a nace to let that infant stay alive. And then what's with the bottom? The bottom it says, Rashi says that he made Yocheved, he made into the Levium and the Kahuna, the Kohens and the Levites, and he made Miriam into the kingdom because she married Caleb. He made the kings from Yehuda. So what's going on with that? Why those specific things? Because we see, then we said before that in the past, the women were supposed to be raised in the Mitzvah's houses, in the Egyptian houses. If they were raised in the Egyptians' houses, they would have married Egyptians. Their children would have been Jewish because they were Jewish women. However, their children wouldn't have been Kohanim, wouldn't have been Levium, wouldn't have been from the tribe of Yehuda because all those attributes are from the men. And since the men were Egyptian, there would be no Kahuna, there would no priests, there would be no Levies, there would be no Malchus. So because of this is God specifically gave the women these rewards because not only did they save the men, but they also saved the women as well, and that allowed them to have the house of Levi and the priestly house and all the different royalty houses as well. So we should always be aware as that the actions that we have today have far-reaching actions down in the future.